You've done everything right. Grilled fish instead of fried meat, a light tuna sandwich for lunch, maybe some tilapia for dinner because it's easy on the wallet and gentle on the stomach. For years, you've believed those choices were helping your heart, your weight, maybe even your memory. But here's what most people over 60 are never told. Some of the most common fish, yes, the ones we've trusted for decades, can actually accelerate inflammation or quietly raise the levels of mercury in your body or interfere with medications that you've been prescribed for your blood pressure, your cholesterol, or your mood. The truth is, not all fish are safe for seniors. Some are raised in heavily polluted waters. Others sit high on the food chain and carry toxins that build up in your brain and joints over time. And because your body processes food differently after 60, those risks become more serious with each passing year. This isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to protect you. In today's video, we're going to walk through the 4 fish that can quietly harm your health after 60 and 4 nourishing seafoods that can help you feel stronger, clearer, and more energized even as you age. All the insights we share come from peer-reviewed studies, nutrition experts, and stories from real seniors who've seen the difference. You won't find hype here, just calm, clear guidance that could make a real impact on your everyday health. Have you ever eaten a food you thought was healthy only to later feel worse and not know why? Or found something small that made you feel better without even realizing it at first? Share your experience in the comments. We'd love to hear, and stay with us until the end. Because the final seafood we'll talk about today may be the most powerful healing food you've never thought to try. Let's begin with a fish that looks clean, tastes mild, and is sold in nearly every grocery store. But for seniors, it carries a toxic surprise. Worst fish number 4, farmed catfish. It's affordable. It's everywhere. And for many families, catfish is a comfort food. Fried, grilled, or baked into casseroles, it often shows up on dinner plates with the promise of lean protein and simple preparation. But when it's farmed catfish, especially the kind imported from overseas, that promise can come with a hidden cost for older adults. The problem starts with how these catfish are raised. In many countries with loose food safety rules, catfish are grown in overcrowded ponds filled with murky water, industrial feed, and heavy antibiotic use. These fish are often exposed to waste runoff chemical residues and low-quality nutrients designed to make them grow faster for profit. But once that fish ends up on your plate, your body has to deal with what it was raised in. For seniors over 60, that becomes a bigger concern. The liver, kidneys, and immune system no longer detox as quickly as they once did. When exposed to the leftover antibiotics, inflammatory fats, and possible contaminants in poorly farmed catfish, the result can be fatigue, digestive discomfort, skin issues, and joint flare-ups that don't seem to have a clear cause. Wanda, 66, learned this the hard way. She lived alone and tried to eat light, often buying catfish nuggets from the freezer aisle. She thought she was making a smart choice, but over time she started waking up with swollen hands. Her energy dropped, and small cuts on her skin took longer to heal. When her doctor couldn't find a clear answer, a nutritionist asked about her diet. That's when they made the connection. Wanda swapped her frozen farm catfish for wild-caught cod once a week. Within a month, the swelling in her joints eased. Her skin looked clearer, and her energy slowly began to return. Sometimes it's not about eating less, it's about eating cleaner, especially after 60. Worst fish number 3, imported basa or swai. You've probably seen it in the store without realizing it. Basa, also known as swai or river cobbler, is one of the most common white fish in the frozen food section. It's sold in bulk. It's often on restaurant menus under different names, and it's priced to move. But here's what many seniors don't know. Basa is usually raised in one of the most polluted river systems in the world. Most imported basa comes from industrial farms along the Mekong River in Southeast Asia. This river receives waste from factories, sewage systems, and agricultural runoff. The fish are packed into crowded pens and fed low-grade pellets to fatten them quickly. But in those waters, they also absorb whatever is floating around them. Heavy metals like arsenic and lead, antibiotic residues, and potentially harmful bacteria that would never be allowed in a U.S. farm. For someone over 60, the issue isn't just food safety. It's about how much your body can filter before it starts to feel the strain. When small amounts of toxins build up over time, it can cause everything from poor digestion to brain fog, skin problems, or a weakened immune response. These aren't things that show up after one meal, but over weeks and months, they start to matter. The danger with basa is that you may not even know you're eating it. It's sometimes labeled as whitefish or served in prepared meals without clear identification. That's why it's so important to know where your fish comes from and choose options that are traceable and responsibly sourced. After 60, your food choices should work for you, not against you. Worst fish number 2. Freshwater eel, also called unagi. If you've ever enjoyed sushi or grilled eel at a Japanese restaurant, you may have come across unagi. It's soft, flavorful, and often coated in a sweet sauce. But for older adults, this type of fish carries some of the highest risks for toxic buildup. Eel is a fatty fish, which means it soaks up what's in the environment around it. That includes chemicals like dioxins, PCBs, and arsenic, which can collect in the flesh and stay there. When you eat eel, you're also eating the history of the water it swam in. Unfortunately, that history isn't always clean. These chemicals are known to disrupt hormones, stress the liver, and potentially raise cancer risk over time. In small amounts, a healthy body can usually handle them. But after 60, detox pathways slow down. The body holds on to these substances longer, and symptoms like fatigue, unexplained skin rashes, or even mood changes can become more common. Lawrence, 72, had always loved Japanese food. After retiring, he treated himself to a fancy dinner every Friday, often choosing grilled eel. It wasn't until a routine blood panel showed elevated liver enzymes that his doctor started asking deeper questions. Lawrence had no history of drinking, no medications that would affect his liver. But when he stopped eating eel and focused on cleaner fish for a few months, his liver numbers improved. He didn't need pills. He just needed a better choice. Eel may feel like a treat, but for seniors, the risk might not be worth the flavor. Worst fish number 1. Yellowfin and big-eye tuna. Tuna is everywhere, in cans and salads, in sushi rolls and sandwiches. It's often labeled as heart-healthy, high in protein, low in fat, but not all tuna is the same. And for older adults, certain types can carry a heavy price. Yellowfin and big-eye tuna, especially the kind sold as A-high, or premium cuts, are among the highest mercury-containing fish in the sea. These large species sit high on the food chain, which means they eat smaller fish and collect more mercury with every meal. That mercury doesn't go away. It settles into their flesh, and when you eat the tuna, it enters your body too. Here's the part that matters. Mercury is a neurotoxin. It affects the brain, the nerves, and the body's natural repair systems. In younger adults, a small amount may not be noticeable, but after 60, even moderate mercury exposure can lead to confusion, irritability, tremors, and short-term memory issues. Henry, 75, had always kept a clean diet. He avoided sugar, stayed active, and ate tuna sandwiches several times a week, thinking it was a safe choice. Over time, he noticed changes. He'd forget small things, feel tired even after a good night's sleep. His hands would tingle. His balance felt just a little off. It wasn't until a hair analysis test revealed high mercury levels that the truth became clear. He stopped eating high mercury tuna and switched to safer options like sardines and wild trout. Within weeks, his mind felt clearer. His hands steadied. He felt like himself again. If you enjoy tuna, there are still safe ways to include it. But skip the big eye and yellowfin. Light or skipjack tuna has far less mercury and is safer in small amounts. Best seafood, number 4. Atlantic mackerel. After walking through the fish that can quietly harm you, it's time to focus on the ones that can help you heal. And one of the most powerful options, yet least appreciated, is Atlantic mackerel. This isn't the same as king mackerel, which we mentioned earlier, as a mercury-heavy fish to avoid. Atlantic mackerel is smaller, leaner, and lives a much shorter life in colder waters. That means it has far less time to absorb toxins or heavy metals. It's considered one of the cleanest oily fish available. What makes Atlantic mackerel such a smart choice for older adults is its richness in omega-3 fatty acids, specifically DHA and EPA. These are the kinds of healthy fats that help protect your heart, reduce inflammation in the joints, and support sharp thinking and memory. After 60, these benefits aren't just nice to have. They're essential. According to research published by Harvard Health, seniors who regularly eat oily fish like mackerel are less likely to experience heart disease, depression, or cognitive decline. The body doesn't produce these fats on its own, so the only way to get them is through food. Mackerel is also high in vitamin B12, which helps prevent fatigue and supports nerve health. And because it's a smaller fish that feeds on plankton, it avoids the mercury problem altogether. It's best served grilled with lemon and herbs, or gently broiled and flaked over salad. And unlike some fish, Atlantic mackerel has a naturally rich, buttery flavor that makes it satisfying even in small portions. Just 2 servings per week can make a difference in how you feel. Sometimes the best nutrition comes in the most humble packages. Best seafood, number 3. Wild-caught rainbow trout. If you're looking for a clean, gentle protein that's good for your heart and easy on your digestion, wild rainbow trout may be the answer. Often overshadowed by salmon, this freshwater fish delivers many of the same benefits, with less cost, less mercury, and just as much healing potential for seniors. Rainbow trout is naturally high in protein, potassium, and healthy fats. What makes it special for older adults is its ability to support healthy blood pressure and circulation, thanks to its potassium content and low sodium profile. That means less strain on your heart and better overall cardiovascular health. Unlike many fish that are farmed in crowded or polluted waters, rainbow trout is often raised in clean, cold water streams in the U.S. or caught wild. These environments produce fish that are lean, free from antibiotics, and lower in contaminants. Deborah, 70, had eaten tilapia for years. It was easy, affordable, and always available, but her arthritis flared often, and her doctor mentioned inflammation might be tied to diet. After learning about the omega-6 overload in farmed tilapia, she decided to try rainbow trout instead. She baked it with lemon and rosemary twice a week. Within a month, her joint stiffness eased. Her blood pressure lowered slightly. And best of all, her energy felt more consistent throughout the day. Rainbow trout is easy to prepare and pairs well with simple vegetables. It's not flashy, but it's quietly powerful, especially when your body needs clean fuel to repair, regulate, and restore itself from the inside out. Best seafood number 2, Pacific sardines. They're small, they're affordable, and they just might be one of the most healing foods a senior can eat. Sardines are often overlooked because of their size or smell, but when it comes to nutritional value, they punch far above their weight. Pacific sardines are packed with omega-3s, vitamin D, calcium, selenium, and coenzyme Q10. All of these nutrients play key roles in keeping your bones strong, your heart healthy, and your memory sharp. And because sardines are eaten whole with bones and skin, their calcium is highly absorbable and natural. That's especially important for older adults facing the risk of osteoporosis. A long-term study from Stanford University found that seniors who ate sardines twice a week increased their bone density by over 4% per year. That's better than many standard calcium supplements and without the side effects like kidney stones or poor absorption. Even more important, sardines are extremely low in mercury. Because they feed on plankton and live short lives, they don't accumulate the heavy metals that larger fish do. That means you can eat them regularly without the long-term risks. If the taste feels too strong, at first try boneless, skinless versions packed in olive oil or water. Mash them with avocado, spread on whole grain toast, or add them to pasta with lemon and herbs. Sometimes the best medicine doesn't come in a bottle, it comes in a can. Best seafood number 1, wild shellfish medley. Let's end with something truly special, a trio of natural seafoods that don't just nourish the body but help it repair itself. Mussels, clams, and oysters. They may be small, but they carry a powerhouse of nutrients older adults need more than ever. Each one brings something unique to the table. Mussels are rich in B12, omega-3s, and iron. Clams offer high levels of hemi-iron and taurine, which support blood cell production and heart function. And oysters are packed with zinc, selenium, copper, and vitamin D nutrients that keep your immune system sharp, your joints flexible, and your skin resilient. These aren't just isolated claims. A study published in the journal Nutrients found that older adults with higher zinc and selenium intake had stronger collagen structure, faster wound healing, and better mobility scores. And it wasn't from supplements, it was from whole food sources just like these shellfish. Even better, these seafoods are naturally low in mercury and sustainably farmed. They filter the water they grow in and don't need antibiotics or artificial feed. You don't need to eat a lot. Just one small serving of mussels or oysters once or twice a week can provide more bioavailable nutrients than most pills. Pair them with lemon or vitamin C-rich foods to enhance absorption, and always buy from trusted clean sources. For seniors trying to recover, strength-fight inflammation, or simply feel more vibrant day to day, this medley offers a gentle but powerful path to renewal. A quiet shift towards strength. If there's one thing I hope you take from today's video, it's this. Your health is not just shaped by big moments or bold decisions. It's shaped by small, quiet choices. The fish you put on your plate, the way you listen to your body, the care you show yourself with each meal. After 60, your body becomes more honest. It tells you what it can handle. It asks for gentler support. And when you really listen, you begin to notice something. That healing doesn't always mean doing more. Sometimes it means doing smarter. What you eat can become a steady kind of medicine, not in a pill, not in a prescription, but in real nourishing food that restores your energy, sharpens your mind, and calms the inflammation that too often gets passed off as just aging. And here's the beautiful truth. You don't have to change everything all at once. One better fish, one safer choice, one step toward clarity. That's where it begins. And over time, those steps add up to strength. The kind of strength that lets you wake up with less pain, think more clearly, and feel more like you again. The ocean offers both danger and healing, and now you know how to tell the difference. If this video helped you see things in a new light, I invite you to like it. Subscribe to the Longevity Secret channel and share your thoughts in the comments. What fish do you eat regularly? Have you noticed how it affects your energy, your joints, or your clarity? Your story might help someone else feel less alone. Until next time, take care of your health. Take it one meal at a time, and remember, you are still in charge of how you feel tomorrow. You've got this. See you in the next video.